A lot's been going on. I've been, well, as you can see in the background, I've been upgrading some buildings and trying to make progress. Small problem we have. Um, I died. All my stuff is over about 800 blocks away, and I I have to go and get it again. Not particularly excited about that. And I think very shortly I'll want to start producing. What are they called? Chunk loaders. Yes, I'm gonna need some chunk loaders in the near future. As now that I'm traveling away from the structure, I was loading it consistently, but now I worry that we're going to get a backup of packages on these chain drives if I don't have some kind of uh, loading system here. Oh, that's right. I can take this guy. Bye, plane. This is why we have multiple planes or trains. I think a small grassland colony in this area would be fun. Let's not hit it. Let's back out a little bit so I can get out of here. Corn. Can never go wrong with corn. And back to work. I want to really quickly just explain my thought process with this. I'll have a train station with a. I think I can just attach a post box to it. I can just put this anywhere. Handy. Well, how far out does this reach? Because I'm also going to want a stash. Put it, I don't know, right here? Sure. And if we put that there, brown post box. I don't know what I'm going to call this place, but maybe I can put a. Yeah, so if I'll probably need a packager on this now that I think about it. But I should be able to take this post box and directly transport items from the factory or wherever else I'm producing it and immediately put it into here, and then it can be taken from the stash and put in the warehouse, which is over the other side of that building. But that is where I want it to be. This, it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna leave it. I'll leave it here for now. Shouldn't have messed with it. And then I'll probably just need a packager and I don't know. Probably a funnel just to get the items going straight down. I don't know how that guy wants a
Good to see you, mate.
minimum level wood or gold, maximum level stone. I'll just give him my bow. I haven't done anything with mine yet. And then there's...
Good to see you, mate. So what will it be for you?
Okay. So we'll get this sorted out eventually, but this is basically where I want the This is basically where I want the platform to be. Yep. I have a west here, east down there, and then a passing, and that should be good. And I haven't figured out how these connect. Do they continue down that way and then cross over? Probably. And then I also, well, the mine's done. So I think I need to start working on some residents over here. But also, I've been expanding the track, and I'd like to keep going because I want to put another colony down here and a colony over here. I got bored one day and I spent a couple, probably 2 hours just flattening area. I'll fix that eventually. But until then, we'll focus a little more, spend a little more time over here. I don't, maybe not focus, but we'll spend some time filling in these areas out here. And all right. All right, now that we've connected our track, we ran out of ballast, but we're basically connected over to where we want to be. So we're going to extend this guy out by another, I don't know, 32 blocks, probably 32 track, just to have it. And then we will figure out how we want to do this. Let's get some chunk borders up, and let's throw this down. I don't know, right here, right here. Oh, style. We need a. Is there a urban savanna? I will take that. And yeah, this is how we'll start. I guess this is going to be where we. Oh, yeah, this will be where we work from for the well. We can keep that there, but we don't need these. And now we have to Oh, that's neat. We've got to figure out how we're going to go from here. Another build tool. Why not? How large does it make the boundaries around the guy out of this thing? Education fundamentals, town hall. What's a level 5 town hall look like? Oh, that's right. It probably showed it in the screen, but here we go. We've got this. Just for the sake of argument, let's assume that this will extend a little bit further. Or at the very least, if it does, this won't last forever. I think this is kind of straight on from wherever yeah. So let's have it line up pretty much with the edge of here. And we will have just, well, I guess it's an even block, so maybe we'll have this centered on some kind, like an even pathway, which will annoy me later on, but until then, level 1. That's a shame. I would have loved to have started another colony, but apparently they can't exist simultaneously, which is kind of sad. That being said, I'm still going to place it down. I can't, well, you can't leave. How much of a ghost colony can you really leave? Either way, however this is going to go down, if it decides that it can't be, yeah, there we go. if the mod pack the mod decides that this can't be changed, we can only have one one colony, which honestly feels like a bit of a disappointment, but there you go. I understand this will require me to destroy the other one, so we are not I'm not going to go ahead and start this one yet, but maybe once that one's done. Well, I don't want to say once that one's done. I like the idea of having multiple colonies. I'm just not sure if I can find a way to allow that. So I think uh, maybe I'll close the game real quick and try and find a mod that'll allow me to do that. I don't know. I just really like that idea. Even if all I do is, I mean, if I have to go into creative and if I have to go into creative and make a uh like make schematics of all these buildings and then print them in so I can just have multiple little cities to actually work with, then so be it. But I really don't like that idea. That just sounds really uninteresting. And admittedly, I probably should have looked into that a little bit before starting this series. And I will also be taking this with me. I'm going to be ignoring the fact that I'm getting hit. I'm getting out of here. I have discovered that you can technically do multiple colonies, but to do multiple colonies, you have to adjust the config file, which I have already done, but you also have to abandon a colony, which says it will make it a ghost colony. I don't think that does anything to it. The wiki says that that shouldn't actually, negatively affect your colony, but I have this feeling that it will. I feel like one colony has to be your main. You can't just have one colony that's nothing like that. There just has to be at least one colony that's like the main. And I think you can still go out and improve and grow your colony, but not not in any substantial way. I'm I'm messing with hyper enchanting, but I don't have enough materials, so I'm hoping I can get a bunch of levels from this stuff. However, I have a feeling I'm not going to be at... Oh, that was still full. Okay. But yes, I have a feeling I won't be collecting ores as quickly as I'd like to. Partially because there's no... there's no coal down here. But, also because I don't have... I disenchanted my picks to try and get levels on some other things. So now I can't actually do things as quickly as I could before. So I'm hoping I can mine here and I can slowly get these things back up. But as you can see, it's very painful because I don't have anything here really. Oh. But yeah, the game plan is going to be as simple as mining these ores, getting levels, and then getting some basic hyper enchantment going. So basically just improving my gear very slightly. I've had a few things almost break on me, so I decided I'd just try and fix it, improve it any way I could. I understand it's probably going to take a good little while. I am not worried about that. I am, however, not excited to be working down here. So I'm not going to record this. I'm going to kind of zone out, watch some YouTube or something, and yeah. I will see you when I am done. Hopefully. I have spent the last 2 hours going for netherite. I have 2 netherite, and when I when I came back to try and figure out how I could how bet the best routes, I guess, to get netherite scrap, I found this recipe. I could crush nether bricks down. No clue why this is in here, but if I can crush nether brick to get netherite scrap, then I don't have to go to the nether anymore, and that makes it a lot easier on me. So naturally, nether brick comes from nether. Well, nether bricks comes from nether brick, and that's an an output from this as well. So we can get nether brick from smelting netherrack, of course, and then netherrack can actually be gotten by, well, yes, the regular means, but you can mix stone, any stone, it would seem, and nether wart, or there's easy route, basalt here, and basalt is as simple as blue ice and soil. So I think it's about time we develop a little factory for that. I have been hard at work exploiting this craft, this crafting recipe, so that we can, so that so that I can never mine for netherite again, and I get a surplus of basalt as well. But what we get here is basically just. I'll show you my thought process here. I worked out that with these backpacks, you can take an item, and if you throw it within like 5 blocks, a 5 block, not radius, but cube. So 5 blocks, well, it's 5 blocks this way, that way. So it's really an 11 block cube centered on the backpack with the advanced magnet upgrade within it. That will get you an 11 by 11 space. So I worked out that if we go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, not counting these blocks on the edge, we could get 4 per row. And then if you space those out, you could get 4 rows in there, so that's 16. And then each of those is 11 long, so you're looking at like 176 not cobblestone, basalt per generation here. This farm would be much faster in the nether as well. However, as you will find out, this is no problem at all. I ran this farm for probably half an hour, and uh, I got the equivalent of, what is that, 30, so 60 netherite per hour. I don't foresee myself ever needing that, but maybe by running this farm like this, I, I actually have a chance of getting netherite upgrades for my backpack. But let's continue on with the rest of this. So after doing this mess over here, I worked out I could squeeze in, what is this, an extra 3. I had to cut one out here, and then another 3 there, so 6. So really, it's only 5 larger than this one, so it's not much faster. It's going to be slightly more resource intensive, but in the space, we're actually going to be producing more basalt, which will lead to, this puts out 64 basalt at a time. So let's just empty this out. The belt will feed the basalt into here. This is actually probably not going to turn on right away because this is set to turn off once we hit, I think, 200 stacks of basalt, and in a 2x2x3, you're looking at 12 vaults, which should be base create. That should be about 240 stacks. So we're almost filling this vault up while we are hunting the basalt to turn it into netherrack. And then this does work. It spits netherrack down into here. This isn't, I mean, it's pretty perfect because of the ratio we have going here. And then the netherrack gets smelted, turned into the nether brick. There you go, nether brick. And then those get pushed out into these basins, which compress them into apparently basalt. But this will compress everything down into netherite, nether bricks. The nether bricks come up here. They're stored 64 at a time before they can be crushed through these wheels. And then this vault, it allows me to sort the bricks produced by this crushing, and then put the netherite scrap. And there's not supposed to be any that. Okay, so that makes this thing wrong. But there's only supposed to be netherite scrap coming out of this. So aside from this being incorrect now, we should just kick it on, see it in action. If I clear that, will it start over at 0? Nope. The only problem being that it's just going to be a lot of this. I think this produces about 1 ingot a minute, or every 15 seconds or so. On average, every 15 seconds we get 1 netherite scrap. So I'd consider that a pretty good factory. Now this makes this belt look a little busier, which, if that's what you want, then, fantastic. If not, then you could set these funnels as high as you'd like to. I personally think that there's no. I mean, you could extend another packager from this second large vault here, but there's not. It's not really necessary to do so. And the only other way I could see possibly improving this, it'd be less space efficient. But if you wanted to farm netherrack, I suppose it'd be possible to do so here, or you could request that this basalt is sent to a different processor to keep more netherrack in the system, which seems like kind of a weird thing for me to farm. But I mean, clearly I'm doing it here, so do with that information what you will. My ADHD brain found a solution to my, not really a solution, but simplified my uh, silverfish based XP farm. This uses your I guess, kind of a generic create mod uh, mechanic by turning cobblestone into smooth stone, haunting that into infested stone, and then breaking the infested stone. You get silverfish to spawn, and if I was in not peaceful, you could see the silverfish spawning in, and then you could see over here the grindstone added by create enchantment industry. This allows us to, I guess, basically just get an, a bulk of experience orbs. And these experience orbs, well, I guess not orbs, but the experience we get from this farm. I need to back up again. I need to back up so that I can hear myself speak, but I need to get close so that I can actually tell you about it. So, like all experience farms of this nature, there is a little time actually getting set up. What I've arrived at is about 16 seconds to go from brand new farm to producing. I don't know. It produces about a bucket of experience when a farm starts up in 36 seconds. So of 20 seconds, that's 3 buckets a minute roughly. The grindstones are capable of keeping up with that to a certain extent. I would go with more, but the difficult part with that is I didn't think of it. At the time. So you could go for more, but then it becomes a little more difficult to actually get the experience out of these item drains. So I guess this would work, but uh, the difficult part is going to be actually maintaining it. And then, as you can see, in just this little this time explaining it, I'm gonna get up close because it's gonna get loud. 9 buckets. All right, so I've been explaining this bit of the farm for a minute or so, maybe, I don't know, but we got over a full tank in that minute of talking. All right, so I've just spent the last hour and a half trying to figure out why my game has been having an issue. I am having a. Oh, by the way, I'm trying to get bees going so I can get an apiary started at the colony. The problem I'm having is with this guy. Um, are you okay? So I completely deleted the contraption here because I was I was simply struggling with it. It was not working. Actually, it caused my game to crash. So what I should probably do is I'm going to rebuild it, but at the same time, I should definitely start backing up my world. I'd say almost almost weekly, just to stop that from happening again. Because I lost my mind a little bit there. Good news and bad news. Good news. I have the netherite upgrade, the template. The bad news, I did not record any of it. I missed my key, did not record any of that. And I won't be doing this again. So, oh, and I got 2 more ingots from the chest. So, uh, I'm gonna get a little bit of quartz while I'm here. But really, I should probably start heading home. Alright, so it's time to call it a day here. I did not actually record this clip for the previous video, it was for this video, but that video was running long, so in post I just used this clip and cut it down. So you're getting a voiceover for this part of the video right now. Thank you for watching. Uh, I've been Affected Hippo, you've been you. If you've made it to this point in the video, you must have liked something about it, surely. So leave a like. Tell me what you liked. I mean, if you made it this far and you had something you didn't like, tell me about it in the comments. I mean, I try to interact with the comments whenever they happen. Tell me what you'd like to see more of. Tell me what you'd like to see less of. But please do comment, like, subscribe. I've been Affected Hippo. You've been you. Uh, Christ is King, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, bye bye.